CRANCHI è uno dei più grandi, dei più organizzati e dei più avanzati produttori.
CRANCHI is one of the largest, most organized and most advanced yacht manufacturers. It builds vessels of all sizes and has recently returned to devote a lot of attention to the smallest boats in the range. This is the E26 Classic. I think they did well in making this new model, of course. The big yachts are awe-inspiring, but this hull is definitely fascinating. With its style, it reminds us that this shipyard already has 150 years of experience. If they build 78-foot flying bridges, then it must be easy for them to build one of just 8 meters. It is true, but if we really look carefully, we'll discover that this construction is anything but simple, because every element must be perfect to make its elegant shine. The hull was designed by Aldo CRANCHI, the rest by the yard's Study and Research Centre under the artistic direction of the designer Christian Grande. The hull has a vertical bow that extends to the waterline. It is a contemporary style, even if in reality it's a legacy of ancient boats. Instead of the gel coat, you can choose the painting of the hull and deck. On the foredeck, the essence draws the embarkation path, but you can cover the entire deck with teak, and if you want, add a sunbed. In the cockpit, the teak alternates with the fiberglass flooring, and at the stern it covers the entire swimming platform. It is a comfortable boat for 6 people. The beam sofa extends along the starboard side. The armchairs pivot. The shape, the fabric and the stitching of the upholstery display the luxury of the product. Look at the armrests, the back of the sofa, the sun deck. Folding table, the cup holders on the solarium and in the side pockets are all-important accessories for comfort, but none so much as the windshield that wraps around the cockpit, limiting the effect of the wind when travelling at high speeds. I find the width measurements of this hull interesting. The maximum beam is 2.5 meters, so it can be transported on the road easily. But inside, the cockpit is still wide. They have achieved this spaciousness by reducing the thickness of the sides. The awning is hidden under the stern sun deck and it extends over the entire cockpit. With a little agility, we go down below deck, where we are welcomed by a cabin that was obviously designed by someone with great taste and someone who knows how to choose and combine fabrics and colours to make this space comfortable too. The light filters through the portholes on the side and above all from the manhole which ventilates the room. There is also the fridge and the toilet.
The
boat is available with 4 different engines, 2 diesels, the Volvo Penta D4 calibrated to 260 or 300 horsepower, then the 280 horsepower V6 also by Volvo Penta, but feel how a 350 horsepower V8 runs.
Questo motore è un 5,3 litri. Aspirazione.
This engine is a 5.3 litre natural aspiration, high-pressure direct fuel injection. It is catalyzed, of course. And now we leave the lagoon and go out into the open sea.
Quando hai nelle mani un motoscafo come
When
questo,
you have a boat like this in your hands, you want it to be easy to control, and it looks like this one is. A little gas, 2,500 RPM, just over 10 knots of speed, and we have started to plane. I still have not corrected the trim yet because the lift is minimal. I can see through the windshield very well.
oggi le condizioni sono ideali per qualsiasi imbarcazione, ma non è proprio così.
Today the conditions are ideal for any boat, but it's not quite so. When the sea is flat, you can perceive those minimal structural defects that a hull can have, or problems with the weight balance. Because the surface is so perfectly smooth, it highlights even the smallest problems.
La potenza è tanta, ma la maggior parte delle volte usiamo queste barche alle andature.
The power is great, but most of the time we use these boats at cruising speeds like this, 20 knots. We are consuming about 30 litres of fuel, a little less in fact, 28 litres at this time.
L'angolo di incidenza è di qualche grado.
The angle of incidence is a few degrees, and if you prefer, maybe if there are waves, well, you can lower the flaps a little.
In questa maniera aumenta.
In this way, the real length of the boat at the waterline increases, because it is immersed from bow to stern, and so on rough seas it is more stable. Here, however, the flaps are not necessary, so we remove them.
A 4.000 giri minuto questo motore ha un picco di cotta.
At 4,000 RPM, this engine reaches a peak torque over 500 Newton meters, so this is perhaps the ideal pace for the V8. We're at 40 litres per hour and the speed is 27 knots, and this is also an ideal speed for us.
Quando si incontrano le scie delle altre imbarcazioni,
when you meet the wakes from other boats, it pitches gently. It's a pleasant rocking. It makes you feel that you're on a boat.
Fino a 30 nodi
Up to 30 knots, you don't need to use the trim. It balances by itself, and so, like a boat, it is really easy to drive.
Così facile che...
So easy that I feel like hearing this 8-cylinder sing.
Siamo già oltre il regime.
Well, we're already over the maximum engine speed of 5,800 RPM. We're at 6,000 RPM.
Il limitatore però non entra in funzione.
The limit, however, does not kick in, and the speed is 41 knots. I have not yet raised the trim. I'll do it now.
Libero un po' la prua dall'acqua.
Free the bow from the water. We make it touch only on the aft sections. Well, we increase another knot. And at this pace, at the maximum, you have to also understand if it is safe.
Dovete aggrapparvi al timone.
You have to hold on to the helm, to the wheel, if you prefer, because the force of the lateral acceleration is really remarkable. When I brought it back up to speed, the engine immediately finds the turns and pushes you forward with an acceleration that is like a real speedboat. It's agile even when turning. Now I have a small amount of hull in the water, therefore this condition makes it even faster in movements, in the changes of course. It is a lot of fun. I don't even enjoy go-karts this much.
Ora, immaginate di avere proprio tutto.
Now, imagine that you have everything and that you also have, well, about 100,000 euros.
Cosa vi piacerebbe di più? Avere quella somma di denaro depositata in
What would you like more? To have that amount of money deposited in the bank or to enjoy the CRANCHI E26 Classic? Don't ask me. You already know what my answer is.